JFI Podcast.
Woo!
And acid successfully dropped.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to end that soon.
It's the same as last
week. The only
week.
thing I said I changed was I took Night Mari's actual voice out upon Hoorah's request because he couldn't tell when the real Night Mari would start talking and when the fake one was done with the intro.
What's up, bitches?
What's up, bitches?
Yo.
No.
Welcome to episode 27
7.
of the JFI Podcast.
I'm sorry. What number was that? 20.
It's that one that comes after and before.
Kisty's Age Podcast.
And two numbers.
It's true!
Are we the same age?
Yeah.
I'm 9 years younger than both of you.
Yes, we know.
Which depresses the ever-living fuck out of me.
Really?
He's a
Yes.
child.
He is such a
I'm
child.
not a child.
This is officially my... This show is, 1, 2... I'm not counting the one I'm doing with Fragger.
Okay.
This is my 4th podcast I've ever done.
Really?
Like a full show.
Nice.
Nice. So, yeah, so it's just the three of us this week. I'm Night Mari. We got the kitty who came back.
Yeah.
The cat
Kisty.
came back the very next week. The cat came back, or else we were all gone.
Yes, you guys would be all goners. Yes, I'm back. I am not on hiatus anymore. No more hiatus kitty. That was a faux pas. Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Are you sure it wasn't a forepaw?
Ha.
No, that's what she does with her husband right before the main event.
Oh,
See, the dogs got excited.
my dogs did not approve of that joke.
Nah,
See, now you have to leave them in.
yeah, I decided to come back. My husband, I guess you could say, let me off my leash.
Cats have leashes?
Yeah, we do.
Again, what happens before the main event?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Jason, before you get disgusted, introduce yourself. Mentally scarred.
No intro for Jason this week.
No intro for Jason.
We've lost him.
Siri, clean up my vomit.
I'm sorry. I'll do a web search for Siri, clean up my vomit.
I know, right? Probably end up on a porn site.
It probably would.
God. Don't make me bring up what my husband had me and my drunken friend Tora sit through this morning. Oh, God. Well, I should bring it up anyways. We watched porn bloopers.
Porn bloopers?
Porn bloopers.
Please, for the love of God, tell me there was a hilarious soundtrack to it.
Fast forward blowjobs near the end of the video.
Cool.
That's the only soundtrack bit of it. The rest of
Okay.
it's actual real sounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
You could have put, like, the Benny Hill music in there or something.
I wish I could, but I'll just say right now, I've never seen so much sperm in my life.
Man, I didn't know I had that in me. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's just like...
Man, it's like a hydrant.
Oh God, make it stop. They said after 4 hours this wasn't supposed to happen.
It's just... There were some bits I actually just had to look away. I just like, no, I'm sorry. I just can't keep watching this anymore. It was mostly amateur, like barely any professional stuff, but...
Barely any professional.
There was a couple professional ones.
Because he has
in
an
there.
eye for professional.
Right.
Yes, I did.
Right. You know what? The only thing I was gonna ask was,
Where do I find
I wonder
this?
if there's if there's a porn actress out there going by the name Siri now.
Probably.
Maybe.
Like that was all I was gonna go to, and then it's just like we watched porn bloopers. I kind of thought all porn was a blooper.
No. These are like, gosh.
She tripped during the blowjob and put her eye out.
Actually, there's a couple of girls who had troubles in stilettos. One made me cringe, like it was supposed to be the guy's laying in the bathtub and the girl's standing on the edges, and she's wearing stiletto heels. And
Please tell me
slipped
she-
off,
Please just
almost
tell me she-
impaling her heel into his
Oh.
Thankfully, she got his leg.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But
Oh, thank God.
yeah.
Oh, thank God.
That was about to turn very brutal.
Oh, thank God. Is it bad that we're he impaled his leg? Oh, thank God. Oh, he's gonna be fine. Oh, this averted a disaster.
Literally.
No, it's just like that male mentality when you hear somebody being hit so hard in the balls or just horrible things happening to genitals. There's like, oh.
You know what? You say that, and yet I had to sit through Casino Royale again for the Bond-a-thon.
I'm sorry, Jason.
And no, I really loved Casino Royale, but there's that scene where he's torturing Bond and he has him naked and he's just like beating his genitals with the knot in the rope. I didn't flinch. I didn't even flinch at that. I was just like, okay.
I'm like, poor Daniel.
Oh, I've got an itch to the right. That's genius, man. I'd have never thought of that.
Poor Daniel.
Yeah, you died knowing that your last thing was scratching my balls.
Yeah. That was so genius. What was it? Speaking of which, I was, I'm researching all things Bond now for cigarette burns, and they brought up all this like 11 things you need to know before Skyfall, and I was like, sure, I'll read that because it's probably things I already know.
Yeah. You knew two things.
It wasn't actually. Yeah, it wasn't about the James Bond franchise. It was about Daniel Craig.
Oh.
Like 11 things you need to know about Daniel Craig. And one of them was his trunks from Casino Royale, where he's coming up out of the water, very much like the woman did in Dr. No. They sold for $72,000.
That low?
At an auction, at a charity auction.
Oh, okay.
And Dame Judi Dench was there, and after the selling went, by the way, they are completely unwashed. And I was like, you go, Judi Dench. Bravo.
Bravo. But I'm surprised it sold for that low.
Wow. Completely unwashed.
Wouldn't it be funny if the guy died, then Daniel Craig just walks up and goes, the world will know you died buying my balls.
That would be awesome. Speaking of charities, let's segue into Nightmare and Hoorah's so-called Extra Life plot.
Plot?
It was a plot because you guys didn't discuss it with Jason and I fully before, but yeah. Anyways,
this sort of just came up.
Yeah, it came up. But anyways, Nightmare, would you please explain to everybody, including Jason and I, and our listeners, what you and Hoorah came up with for our doom of Extra Life?
It's not really doom. You're acting like we were like do the scene in Casino Royale with the notch.
Maybe.
Alright, but Hoorah's James Bond.
Because, see, that would be one of our things if Jester was part of this podcast.
Yes, it would be.
War of 1812.
1812! He never came back with those tacos.
No, he didn't.
No.
2 years in a row, man. 2 years in a row.
Tacos, God. That's
Okay,
true.
so anyway.
I'm gonna go get some food. It never comes back.
He seriously never came back. That was hilarious.
No.
Anyway, so Hoorah's gonna put his face on camera finally.
Yay.
And for the first thing he's doing...
Because that's what you want to see.
No, we're gonna make him do the cinnamon challenge.
Yes.
And then the Mentos and Coke challenge right afterward, to wash it down.
And to point out what the Mentos and Coke challenge is, I came up with this, is that he needs to put the Mentos in the Coke bottle and then immediately try to drink it. Before...
In other words, drown him. This is going to be waterboarding with Coke.
No, this is going to be porn bloopers with Coke.
This is going to be funny with Coke. Oh, come on. I had to have a little fun.
It's like a geyser. It's all in my face.
Yes.
You know what? After that's done, I'm going to grab that video and just put the Mentos theme song underneath it as it's just spraying onto his face. Like halfway when he's going, oh god, I'm drowning. Fresh goes better, Mentos better.
Yeah, you hear like screaming obscenities and the theme song playing underneath it.
And just like at the height of it, when he's just like, that's where I'm gonna freeze frame and just put Mentos, the fresh maker.
Oh, you have to make the image sepia tone too, just to drive the point home.
Yeah.
Oh, not a problem.
And Nightmare, your challenge?
I have to watch a scary movie and have my face on camera as I shit myself.
Yes. Now, we haven't picked the movie yet, of course.
No. We gotta pick a movie with, like, a lot of jump scares, just to really get him freaked out.
I know a lot of bad movies. I don't know. I was tempted to say, let's make him watch Trick or Treat.
Let's make him watch The Room. Okay, I'm fine with that.
It's not that scary,
know.
actually.
It's not, but it's a good horror movie for me.
It's a good horror movie, but it's not a good scary movie.
We're gonna have to find one. Jason, you and I can sit through that. We'll ask Fragger for a good jump movie. He knows a few.
Uh-oh.
We can make him watch VHS. I mean, that has a lot of jump scares in it.
I don't know.
Can I at least watch a movie that's gonna be good?
No. Scary movie does not imply good
horrible.
movie.
Can I get a good scary movie?
That is VHS is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
There's only one story in there that I think deserves its own, like, movie.
Which one is that? I've seen bits of VHS.
The one with the girl in the woods. Who, dragged her friends out there to die.
Oh, yes. That one.
That one deserves its own movie, because that one's actually really, really smart.
Yeah. Okay. I know for the fact which one's my husband's favorite.
Which
the
one?
Succubus.
That one's actually one of my favorites, too. I would have, like, it's the Succubus, the girl in the woods, keep the end story, but let it have a happy ending, and, what's another one I would have kept? Just throw away the framing device story, by the way. If we're gonna do that, I want to see the guy in the house, like, he's being tortured by this thing, and that's his torture, is to watch all these VHS tapes.
Yeah, I heard the screams from that one. Because my husband refused to let me watch VHS. Although I was trying to fall asleep around the same time.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
So, it's just like, I only got small bits of the movie, soundbite-wise, but I never looked at the screen.
Oh, by the way, sorry to Chad, because he's been, like, yelling at me on Twitter. Like, you ruined VHS, man. You totally spoiled it. And I'm just like...
#scumbag Chad.
You didn't spoil much other than that it was a bad movie and that, it's clips. It's tidbit stories.
It's a vignette. It's a vignette is what it is. It's a bunch of vignettes. The second story, I feel, is the weakest. The one with the couple traveling.
Oh, yeah.
That one is... the sad thing is, that's the one that has the most resolute ending, and it is the weakest story among them all.
Anyways, let's move on to what you're doing, Jason, for the Extra Life.
I'm doing 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, but I'm only gonna make you read a chapter.
Oh, Christian. I think his name's Christian.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God, my panties are so wet right now. Oh, God. Oh, God. My inner goddess is screaming.
Okay, let's save it for when you actually do have to fully record that.
Ladies?
Oh, God, yes. I have to find a chapter, though.
Yes.
Has to be a really raunchy one.
Ladies, Jason is available.
Yes, he is.
Wouldn't that be horrible if just, like, I actually go psychotic during sex or something? It's just like, yeah, oh, baby, you're so good. Oh, God. Oh, your titties. Oh, God, I just want to smother myself.
I feel like I'm going to vomit now. I guess this is payback for what I did to Jason earlier.
What did you do, Jason?
Oh, God, that's the first time I've actually coughed doing that voice.
Wow. And, of course, what I'm doing
to Jason?
And then that brings us to me, which I will be playing Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe Edition live on a stream, and making Hoorah a character in Sims 3, and having Jason, myself, and Nightmare attack him. literally.
it's just gonna be a podcast, except with actual
Yeah,
violence.
it's gonna be a podcast.
It's gonna be a
It's gonna be a
two-part
visual
streamcast.
representation.
It's gonna be a two-part streamcast on my end.
It's gonna be
But-
a dramatic interpretation of every podcast.
I'll say right now, I've already made you, Nightmare, and you, Jason, and I've also recreated myself as both cat and human.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, you guys.
So
Did I come close?
I didn't see this picture. but
was I the one in the tuxedo? Okay, then yes, you came very
Okay.
close.
I didn't see the picture. What's going on?
It's on the JFI Twitter feed
Okay.
under pictures. But
You'll look that up later.
yeah, don't look it up now because I don't want to discuss the picture now because that was just a sneak peek to give to you guys. Because I didn't want to throw it on Skype and go, oh, here's a link to a picture. I was like, oh, just throw it in the JFI Twitter and go, oh, what does this do? What am I working on?
Now my voice hurts.
And I did make Kura's, but his is a temporary. But
It's
here's
temporary.
yeah, it's a placeholder because I wanted to get the family portrait thing, so I guessed at Hura's, which is basically a default character. But Jason, your personality goal is to be a secret agent.
You're going to become Bond.
Yeah, I gave you Bond.
I've been talking about him so much, it's just about time I do it.
It's about time you assimilated.
For now.
Hey guys, look at this. There's a Ruby wiki already.
Yes, there is. I know there is already because there's a group. And then let's see here. Hura's. Believe it or not, they wanted to give him police DNA forensics examiner, and I gave him the most horrible traits. I gave him loser, unlucky, childish.
This actually does sound like a forensics officer.
Yeah. Gosh. I gave him a whole bunch of traits. I don't have them in front of me, but I gave him the 5 really bad traits. That basically means you cannot amount to anything. Because, and I made sure that his character was able to be hated by all of ours, so he has things that our characters kind of go, ugh, I don't like you for this reason. So that they can attack him. And then, of course, we have me as the cat, which should not have an occupation, but apparently my human form must have one. So there's 2 kisties in this. In case I can't get the cat to attack him.
In case.
I'm sorry, I just love the fact that my human form has to have an occupation. I'm so depressed by this.
Yeah, so that's going to be on a stream. The first part is going to be off stream, which is where Hura and I make his character. And then I put us all into the game. I set everything up. You know, I use the cheat code so we all have simoleons. So we have money to have a house, an actual house. And then I play it from there. And then try to get everyone to beat up Hura. And Hura decided this. I'm going to point out. This isn't just me picking on him.
This was actually his
He
choice.
agreed to this.
He agrees with this.
Yes, but he also picked my torturous one, which is I get to play Roller Coaster Tycoon on my PC, which is the deluxe edition that I picked up for like $5 from Best Buy, like, oh gosh, I think 10 years ago. So, and it still works. I tested it. It still works on my PC. So that's gonna be fun. I will right now warn everyone: the Roller Coaster Tycoon will have induced vomiting.
Yay!
I make my park attendees puke a lot.
Yay! I guess.
But you don't see the puke on the floor very long.
Boo!
All right.
All right. So
Next
that's our
thing.
goals.
Yeah, those were the goals. Of course, what was the money goals attached to those? Or do you not remember, Nightmare?
I don't remember.
Yeah. It was tied to Fragger's Extra Life, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Sorry if I sound kind of preoccupied. I'm kind of like half reading and half podcasting at the same time.
Bad, Nightmare. You know you're not supposed to multitask.
I can't multitask.
Well, he was reading the Ruby Wiki, which came out earlier this week. And you know what else happened earlier this week? The election.
Oh, yes. The election.
President Barack Hussein Obama, yes, that is actually his full name for those of you who did not know, was reelected in a... I'm not even going to say it was a landslide.
It was like
100 plus votes. Electoral vote win. Literally. 100 plus.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean a landslide
No.
because California is worth 55 by itself.
Hate me,
California.
guys. I'm sorry
Fuck you,
we have
Kissy.
55 electoral votes.
Fuck
You want to
you,
know
Kissy.
what?
No.
We may have 55 votes, but they don't fucking campaign here.
They don't?
Yeah, I
No,
know. No,
they don't. They
It's
come
been-
and get
it's
money
been such a-
out of my state. We are the
right.
money
It's been
maker.
such a it's been such a Democratic state for so long. It used to be a Republican state
yeah.
that no one campaigns there anymore. They're just like, oh, it's going to go Democrat. We can't change that.
Yeah.
And the reason is Hollywood.
Yeah, blame LA and San Francisco. They have the highest
Yeah.
population count. Fuck you two cities.
I-
I'm sitting between them.
I really wish they would change the Electoral College just because of that fact. The fact that it's based on population is completely unfair to certain states.
Yeah, because some towns don't vote. Some counties don't vote the same as the biggest cities.
Or if you really want to make it fair, how about doing what I think it's North Dakota and another state do? They give you percentages.
Yeah.
Like, the guy who gets the most votes gets X amount of the points, and then they break it down into who got the most amount of the vote, and then whatever is left over goes to the other guy.
I'd just rather do the popular vote. Done.
Well, Obama won the popular vote by, I think, 2 million
Yeah,
people.
something like that. But at least
Yeah, it was like 2.5.
he got both of them. Which actually, I would like to say one thing that got voted on that I'm very happy with: gay marriage and marijuana.
And marijuana. Yeah, marijuana is now legal in Colorado and Washington.
Yes.
How much is an apartment out there?
All I can think of is like the bunny perspective now.
It's like, how much is it for an apartment there now?
And what's worse, here's what's worse. In Colorado, they just said it's legal.
Uh-huh.
They didn't say how much is legal. They didn't say how you can get it.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything like that. So if I went to a corner guy and was just like, "Hey, give me 5 pounds of weed,"
Whoa,
and they
hold up
arrested
there, big
both
guy.
of us. No. Here's the thing. That's the most laws when they come into effect like that. They say, "Oh, well, you can only have so many ounces or so many grams of it." That's the rule for most states when they legalize marijuana.
Yes.
Or here's how you can legally buy it. You can't get it off the guy at the corner who's selling pot.
Yeah, you have to have a permit.
They didn't do that in Colorado.
Nope.
So I can literally walk up to anybody and go, "I want 5 pounds of pot." I can pay for it. A cop can watch the entire thing happen. I get off scot-free. Because I bought
pretty,
pot.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not
Now-
the guy who sold it.
Now, I have to point out something, though. If a federal officer, such as the FBI, sees you buying pot, they can still arrest you. Because on the
Yes, because
federal
it's not
level,
a federal
it is
law
still
yet.
illegal. But on the local state level, they can't do shit. And
Right.
they're not going to. They're not going to waste the resources. And
No. And I don't blame them. I really think pot should be legalized.
I do too.
Because
At least the cannabis plant should be legalized, not for just smoking, but the materials it
Here's
can
the
be
thing.
made into.
Hemp.
Because you can make clothing out
here's
of it.
here's the thing. And my parents watch Fox News, and God bless their soul.
Sorry.
That channel varies between their actual statement, which is fair and balanced, and then, dear God, we're Republican.
Dear God.
Yes. I had to sit
And-
through that channel on election night.
I am so sorry. I literally told my dad, if you tell me one thing about the election, I'm gonna smack you.
I'm gonna smack you.
And he went, no, you really would. I was like,
will.
yeah, I am. I don't care who wins at this point. They're both politicians. We all lose.
Yep. And I even I heard Bill O'Reilly say that line live of how people want things, and Obama is marketing to the people who want things because they're entitled. And I was like, no shit, Sherlock. Welcome
Yeah,
to the
that's-
party.
okay. I really hate to say this because it'll sound like big supporter of Mitt Romney over here, but I'm not. That 47% line that he said, he really should have lowered that down to 30,
Yeah.
and then it would have actually been true.
Yeah. Real quick, my husband just walked in, but continue on without me, guys.
Okay.
The reason I say that is I live in an area where a lot of people game the system of welfare. Like, I know a person who has heart attacks, in finger quotes, about once every 2 years.
So he
doesn't get medically checked, doesn't get anything, and then he doesn't have to look for a job anymore, and he's back on welfare.
Wow.
So he spends like a month off welfare, has a heart attack once every 2 years, and then doesn't have to worry about it for the next 2 years.
That is really, really fucked up.
Yeah, and he has a new car once every 6 months.
Okay, sure.
I'm not talking like brand new $22,000 cars, but we're talking about $5,000 cars about once every 6 months.
Yeah.
And then he works on them like a gearhead, and then he trades them in, and then he gets a new one.
Sure, why not? Okay.
And he has, I think it's 5 kids. And he is raising them in that environment.
That is terrible.
That is something the United States needs to stop. We need to stop funding the concept that you can live in the system. The system is there to help people who are downtrodden. It is not there to be gamed like it's a fucking Nintendo system.
Yeah, I understand that, because if you're going to work the system like that, that's just really bad, especially if you're teaching kids how to do that.
Yeah. So think about that. He's a family right now of 7. Him, his wife, his 5 kids. When they die, you go from paying for one family to paying for 5.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
For 5 families who will learn how to do that. And then however many kids they have, you're paying for those families in about 40 years when those kids die. It's an exponential thing, and it's horrible. So, I felt really bad that people was just like, draw the 47%. Where is it in America? I was like, I can do it, but it's just going to be a lot of really small dots. Yep. You don't want me to do it because I can.
It's gonna look like a scatter plot.
Yes.
It's gonna look like America broke out in chickenpox. It really is. I'm gonna do it in red, and it's gonna look like America broke out in fucking chickenpox.
I really want to segue into Ruby talk again, because this wiki is like blowing my mind.
Okay. Well, let's talk about two more things before we jump into Ruby, because I do know, Nightmare, you do want to talk about it. And let's segue away from politics, if that's okay, Jason.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm very opinionated, but it's not like I can't back myself up with facts.
That's true.
That's the problem. That's the problem every politician has, in my opinion, is they're very opinionated, but they skew the facts so much that I look at them and go, are you fucking serious?
Yes, that's why I have a website I go to, which is politifact.com.
Yeah, politifact.com, yeah. I love them.
Oh god, do I love it when they're live tweeting debates. It's just like, false, true, lie, pants on fire.
You know what? I want to say something that I laughed my ass off when I saw, because somebody retweeted it in my timeline.
Might have been me.
When Obama said, we don't use ships anymore, we use battleships and destroyers.
Oh, yeah.
That's like saying we use horses and bayonets. Perfectly acceptable statement,
yes.
You know. The governor didn't say the proper term. I can understand blasting him for that. Mm-hmm. The United States Marine Corps immediately tweeted, Mr. President, we still use bayonets. We've used them for years.
Wait, they tweeted at him with this?
Yes, it was Barack Obama. We still use bayonets. We've used them forever.
Oh my god. Well, that's true. You do, because you...
I was like, Marines?
This is not the time and or the place to do this.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing the modern day soldier with a musket and a bayonet.
That's fine. I don't mind. But I just laughed my ass off at that. I was like, wait, really? And I went and did research. Yes, they still use bayonets on their guns.
Yes, they do.
It's quick, quiet kill.
Yes,
it is. Bang! Okay, give me 10 minutes.
Well, speaking of kills, let's move on to Halo 4 and Red vs. Blue Season 10, which we have not talked about at all on the podcast because we agreed that we would wait until the season was done before we talked about it.
Poor Florida.
Poor Florida.
Poor Flowers.
Flowers.
Poor Flowers.
I feel really bad for Flowers because, like, I see him like, oh, Flowers.
I sat after that season finale and just thought, okay, we have now seen everything that happens before season 1 of Red vs. Blue.
Yes.
And now we've seen everything that comes after season 9 of Red vs. Blue.
Yep.
It is amazing how well they put all that together.
I agree. And it
is mind-fucking-blowing.
I can't believe they blew up Florida.
They did. It was like a fucking Death Star ray just dissected it from the country.
How do we cover having Agent Florida out there? We have ways.
We have ways.
I have a cover story.
I love that the line for it was, "We'll need a good cover story. Everyone will wonder what happened to Florida." I was like, you son of a bitch.
I'm like, what happened to Georgia?
You don't want to know what happened.
I'm still trying to figure that shit out.
You don't want to know what happened to Georgia.
I want to see, like, the United States map have just, like, a giant hole where Georgia used to be.
Well,
no,
if
Georgia
you sit and look at it,
map.
if you sit and look at it at the end of the Freelancers, you're only going to have Carolina, Wyoming, the Dakotas,
Texas,
New York, Texas, who am I missing? Washington, Maine,
and Florida.
No, not
Florida's
Florida's
dead. I'm saying
gone,
at the end. I'm saying at the end when they
Oh,
say
when they
blow up
Florida has
Florida.
to go.
Yeah,
So
that's about it. That's everybody.
You don't have a California, a Washington, a Utah, a Montana.
You know that they'll go back and bring in those other freelancers are going to show up somehow.
Oh, Connecticut. You'll have Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, CT's dead.
Well,
she died
the armor of CT is still active.
Well, was active. Let's not forget Church went, you will fear my laser face.
Well, as I said,
7?
the end of the Freelancers, which is before season 1, so CT is technically still alive.
True.
You will fear my laser face.
I am not a thing. Sorry, that just popped into my head.
Can I go ahead and say the biggest oh my god moment of the season?
Yes, go for it.
Tex is Carolina's mom.
Yes!
And Director is her dad.
Right?
Yes!
I'm like, what? What? Does not compute. Does not happen.
You know what? It made total sense to me when I figured that out. I was like, oh yeah, because Tex has been dead for years before the Freelancer program.
Yes. And it's like, it makes sense now why, I hate to say it, Church, and I'm talking Spartan Church, or Alpha or Omega, or
Epsilon.
whatever you want to call them
The
now.
Church we know.
Yeah, the Church we love from Blood Gulch. It's just the younger version of the Director, and that's why the voices are different.
Yeah.
Because they never explain why the voices were different, and then it's like, he's a copy, which means he's younger, which means the voice is going to be higher.
Right.
So it works out.
I wonder if with Halo 4, and actually they said it in the books too, because I read the Halo books.
Nerd.
Shut up.
Okay.
They're really, really good.
I need to read the books, so try to avoid a little spoilers if you can.
Oh no! This is a well-known fact.
Okay.
In the Halo lore, this is a well-known fact. After so long, AI goes rampant, which means it
true.
begins
8
to
years
break
ago.
down.
Yeah, because Cortana's 8 years, and they decommission, or they break down after 7.
Yeah.
So Church is gonna have a malfunction in the next season. Maybe. Well, he was
I say
in a
that
storage
because
unit.
I'm curious if that scene in this season is him going rampant. That scene where he grows to massive size and just starts freaking out on everybody.
That is a possibility.
Or if it happens to fragments.
Wonder.
Because technically he's just a fragment of an AI.
Well, he has all the pieces now, technically.
Yeah, he is all the pieces re-put together, but he is still Epsilon.
Yeah. So it's possible. I mean, it makes sense that, season 11 opens with Carolina coming back to the guys going, hey, Church is
Crazy.
fucking flipping out here, and I need your help.
Well, Bernie just tweeted that he was going into pre-scripting for season 11.
Yeah.
Ideas.
And I was like, so now that everyone's a UNSC criminal, is that the chairman
That's
bouncing that off?
Yeah, they have
or
to
is
deal
that
with the chairman
just
now.
Yeah, they have to deal with so much shit, man.
Well, here's the thing, though. Griff, back at the end of season 8, stole one of the, I forget what it's called. It's the flying things they use.
The
Hornet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took a Hornet, which I think is the reason why they're coming after them. It's not for the whole freelancer stuff. It's because they stole those. That first one, which vanished. Surprisingly.
No, I think it's like they used that as a cover, but if you remember, Washington told them everything.
That's true, he did.
So the the chairman knows everything. He knows about the Reds and the Blues.
Yeah, which means that now he would be going after cleaning up everybody. But the thing was, would he be trying to let them go or put them all in jail?
He wants Church.
That's true.
That's what he really wants.
Because
he wants to know. If you remember during seasons 6 through 8, he keeps asking him about
the AIs.
The AIs and how they got to be so many of them. I think he's grown more curious about how they did it. Mm-hmm. And since the director wouldn't answer him, he's just going to go get the answers himself.
Yeah. Well, also, what happened to the thing that was splitting them?
Oh yeah, the alien from ODST.
The sarcophagus.
Yeah, that was
what happened
that was just
to
one
it?
of the fixers in the Covenant.
Yeah, the fixers from ODST.
Okay. Which
was in a sarcophagus for some reason.
Yeah.
I think they're called Covenant Engineers. Is their appropriate name?
Okay.
Because they fix anything. Well, of course, if you shatter something, there's only 2 ways to fix it. You put the whole back together, or you take away the piece and then put the whole, as best you can, back together.
Yeah, which is what it did to the Alpha, obviously, several times. Like, we broke it again.
Yeah.
It's like, you broke it? Of course you broke it! But I did like how Church, when he was yelling at the director, you saw all the AIs pop out.
Yeah.
Like, each fragment yell at him, and I was like, yes!
I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I also felt sad for the director. It's just like, you just have that moment of pity where you're like, he's just a sad old man who wants his wife back. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. That was the most depressing ending when they show, after the credits, when they show the whole vid sequence of her saying goodbye to him.
Yeah.
I don't like goodbyes.
I really expected it to be Kathleen, by the way, but it wasn't.
It was.
Well, they were planning on originally, because I caught this snippet off the Entertainment Weekly behind the scenes bit they put up, that they originally just planned that live action sequence to be a reference, and they just decided not to animate over it. They left it alone. Because if you look when Tex is going through those files that CT gave her,
right,
you can see a computer image of that character.
Right, I know.
Of the live action. It's you can tell it was animated, but the rest of it was all live. So they could have ran out of time and were covering themselves by saying the performance was so good. But, honestly, I think it would have killed it if they computerized it.
Yeah,
I actually like the live action because it gives that sense of like, hey, this is real in their universe. They're just more than characters we're seeing.
Right, I agree.
Although I do wish it was Kathleen. Yeah.
Yeah. But right after that, we saw the one thing that is making Nightmare have a hard-on in his pants.
Yes.
Well, one of them anyway.
Ruby. Or better known as red, white, blue, yellow.
Ruby.
Yes.
Or as Monty calls it, the colors I always am.
Yes.
Did you guys see the napkin he put up in his journal?
Yes.
That is just hilarious.
It was ketchup and a napkin of the layout of the world, which I thought was cool. So I was like, oh, look, up here in the northern part, there's a lot of snow. I'm gonna guess that's where the trailer's taking place, which was awesome. I love the music. I watch
just
the
love that.
trailer
It was
at
so
least once
cool.
a day.
I could have done without the music.
Well, the starting part of the song was the part I liked the most, and then when they cut the music and went into the action,
Yeah, the action with Spanish guitar in the background.
Yeah.
that could have gotten cut.
Dude, that scythe.
That scythe. What you want to know? What the sad thing is
rifle snipe.
This just makes me want to finish writing something I came up with when I was in high school. Called Eden.
Back in the day when beepers were so cool.
Yeah, back in the day. The concept was a young woman is separated from her father due to a catastrophe, and 15 years later, when she's an adult, she has gone into Eden, which is a peacekeeping task force that is actually fighting against monsters, like vampires and werewolves and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is they aren't actually vampires and werewolves. They're calling them that to keep the public stupid. They're actually mutated beings from the disaster.
Oh.
And one of the characters I came up with was one of the wardens. They're known as the Omega Group. It's the Warden, Death, Pestilence, and Plague. It's the four horsemen.
Nice.
Would you say they are the law?
They are the law, dude. When you call it in the book, like, you're supposed to write a Bible for every idea you have, and it's the world, the characters, the concepts, everything. In the Bible of it, the wardens are the last of the last lines of defense, and death and war are the warriors of it, whereas pestilence and plague are the scientists. And war is a really skinny dude that has scars all over his body, and I have a really shitty drawing I did of him once, but he's a really thin, frail dude.
It's just a stick
figure
figure
with
with
giant.
on him.
He has this giant neck collar on that goes up just below his chin, and it has a huge indentation in the center of it going all the way around. And his weapon of choice is a double scythe. Like, one going one way, one going the other. And the reason there's that huge indentation is when I came up with his fighting style, he's a close combat person, so he'll actually take one of the scythe pieces and put it in the indentation and spin it to get range. If he's in a really close quarters combat, he's just around it, he'll just hook it around his neck and spin it, and then just get everybody, and then go back. He's basically a bow staff fighter, but with dual blades on each side.
That is too cool.
Yeah, I need to finish that up, because I had the concept, and originally the name of it was Eve, but I couldn't come up with anything, so I just started calling it Eden.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm gonna keep. I think her name is Eve, if I remember. I have to find that. It's forever and a day ago I wrote this.
Like I said, back when beepers were cool.
Yeah. I think I named her Eve, and then I tried to make Eve an acronym for something. And then I was just like, you know what? No, I'm gonna put a lot of religious spin on it, and call it Eden, because they're the protectors of the world now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So apparently they.
Because originally the name of the wardens were the Archangels, and I was like, oh, that's a bit of a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently they named Red Ruby's weapon already.
Oh, what's it called?
Crescent Rose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Monty said that on the podcast this week.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't get to watch the podcast this week, and I've yet to listen to it because I've been fiddling with stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Mostly drawing, and sometimes when I draw, I have to be very, very quiet about it. I drew a really good picture of Carolina and Tex.
Yeah, I saw that. That was very good.
Thank
I'm very
you.
impressed with that.
My
anyway,
next project is Sheila, but that's going to be a while because I can't seem to get the shading right.
Yeah.
That's always a problem when you draw stuff. I know that feeling very well.
Yeah, plus
I guess a lot of people don't know I draw. I draw a lot.
Huh.
Well, art is something that not a lot of people do these days.
Yeah.
Or at least drawing.
I do actual sketch pad. I don't do computer stuff.
I have to do computer because I cannot draw a straight line to save my life, even with a ruler.
My sister is actually a somewhat accomplished artist.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, like she sold pieces for like over thousands of like $10,000 or so.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a giant tree made of rubber, of like old tires and shit that she put together.
Oh, she's
a sculptor.
Okay. I thought you meant she just like made something and someone was like, "I'm gonna buy that for $10,000." I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh no, that was an art project she did in school when she was going to college.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It was like this giant, like I want to say like 80 or 90 foot tall palm tree of rubber.
That's very cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'll find a picture of that for the link dump.
Back to Ruby.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruby.
Crescent Rose, high velocity sniper scythe.
Yep. It makes sense. Like, he really sat and thought that through.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like
which was the best part.
Every swing you have to use a round.
Yep.
Well, it depends. Like, are you doing it... There is that part where she's...
When she puts in the cross ammo. That's what it's called.
No, where she puts in the ground and then shoots. Like,
yep.
She's using the scythe part to stabilize the gun.
Yeah, but it also says, like, when she's going for, like, those extra, like, strong swings, she has to use a round for more force in it.
Right.
Yep. Although I loved just the animation and the style he did for the whole thing, because I was just like, this is pretty badass. And
it's very, very cool.
If you look at the end after it shows everybody,
the characters.
It shows all the characters. If you look underneath, you can see who's playing who underneath it.
That
Lindsay,
is just
Barbara, and
Kara and Aaron.
Kara. And
Kara.
then Miles' girlfriend.
Oh, Miles' girlfriend. Okay, I was
okay.
like, who's the fourth girl? Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, this is going to be badass because I love their voices.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for, like, try to audition voice actresses and just did it with people in-house.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that any of the girls are bad at what they do, in the least. I would very much enjoy to hear how they do certain things.
Probably
emotionally.
Monty asked them to do it, like he had them in mind from the beginning, probably.
I'm curious, and I say this a lot, and I'm so sorry. From doing film, sometimes it's convenience versus actual things. Like, I could audition someone, or I could just have the person who's sitting next to me, and I don't know if they're good or not. But they're convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after seeing that, I think I've chosen a new career path for myself. I'm gonna go into computer animation like Monty does.
Have fun. You
Yeah, I know.
have
Have
a
fun
lot
with
of work
that.
ahead of you.
Yeah, I know.
I will say right now the one word that was told to me when I got into graphics design.
Money?
Shortcuts.
Okay, never mind.
No.
Yeah.
Know your shortcuts. It will save your ass.
Yeah. I don't even know most of the shortcuts on my NLE, my non-linear editor programs like Avid and Final Cut, but I can fly through those. I cannot imagine how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be when I start learning Photoshop.
Believe it or not, Jason, you'll eventually you'll figure it out. You'll come up with little ways, and you can change your shortcuts, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can make them organic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's why, I know Monty leaves it all on default, but when it changes, like, he flips out. He's like, no, now this is inefficient. I have to do 4 buttons instead of 3.
This is coming
I
from
know,
the man who
he's-
rips out keys from his keyboard that he doesn't use.
True.
Right.
Caps lock. The caps lock is gone.
You have no idea how happy I would be if I could rip out the caps locks from my keyboard.
Do it. Just get a
Oh.
screwdriver.
No, I can't because I have a laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can't rip out laptop keyboard. Or keys.
You try.
But you can always hook up a keyboard to your laptop.
Yeah, but I
USB
don't want
hookup.
to.
Yeah. More work
Because
needs to be.
I'm whereas Monty is like a very big purveyor of
Efficiency.
shortcuts and all that stuff. Yeah, and efficiency. I'm very efficient in my space. Like my desk right now that I'm sitting at every time we record the podcast, everything is in a specific place. My microphone has to be in a specific place. My headphones are in a specific place. Certain things on the desk are in a specific place. They have to be there. Otherwise, I'm wasting the space that could be used for sudden emergencies.
I've seen the DLC for Assassin's Creed 3. The first one looks amazing.
Oh, the Tyranny of King Washington.
Yeah, how is that, by the way, guys? Cause
Assassin's Creed 3?
I have no intention of getting it. I've only seen gameplay.
That's my department.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. My eyes are bleeding from thinking about it. No, it's it's a huge improvement.
Here's the thing about Assassin's Creed compared to one of the other big hits of this season, Halo. I was talking. Assassin's Creed has its own story. It has the Desmond story.
Yeah.
And we just get to visit Altair and Ezio and now Connor and all these other characters who make the game. Whereas they've spawned books. You know, obviously I think there are like 5 Assassin's Creed books out there, but they're about
they're the books that match up the major series essentially.
Yeah. In the Halo universe, they've spawned so many books, and I gave up at one point. I have 4 books out of the Halo series. I have
how many books
the
do they
Fall
have?
of Reach. It's a lot, dude. It is a lot. I have the Fall of Reach, the Flood, and First Strike, and the Ghost of Onyx. Those are really... The Fall of Reach is what happens when John 117 is on Reach, before the game Reach. Flood is the events of Halo. First Strike is what happens between Halo 1 and Halo 2. And, Halo 1, 2, and 3, I should say. It's sort of... Because they introduced the weapon, the DMR, and all that stuff. And the battle rifle. So, they introduced the weapons before the game even came out.
Oh, wow.
Wow, there are 15 novels.
Yeah, there are 15. Yeah, there's the Cole Protocols, which is about Sergeant Johnson. And then there's like 2 books on Sergeant Johnson. There's a bunch of books on
different Spartans.
Other people in the Halo universe. No, not even Spartans. The basic ones you need to follow for the Spartans is like First Strike, the Flood.
I heard you gotta read Cryptum for Halo 4 for something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is there's a character in Halo 4. He's called the Didac. And if you read Cryptum, his story makes a lot more sense. If you didn't, you're like me and grasping at straws. Because they are slowly explaining the story during Halo 4, but apparently it's so much better if you've read Cryptum. And actually it's a 3-part book series. It's called the Forerunner Saga. It's Cryptum, Pandoricum, and the third one hasn't been printed yet.
Okay.
So it is the story of this guy, the Didac. And you guys know who the main villains are for Halo 4, right?
Yeah, Gravemind, Covenant, Flood.
Flood. Okay. It's also the Forerunners.
What?
Like, they're back.
They came back?
Yeah.
I thought they died.
Well, some of them didn't.
And now they're pissed.
Yeah, and now they're pissed.
And now they want to take back everything.
Well, there's this one thing you can find in the game. It's in the 2nd or 3rd level. And I'm not even spoiling this. You have to actually go look for it. If you don't look for it, they reference it. But it's almost like a foreshadowing if you find it.
Okay.
And it's a Forerunner artifact. It's a Forerunner disc. And Master Chief asks Cortana to read it. And she says, "The mantle of protecting all creation falls..." I'm probably misquoting this, so I'm probably going to get a lot of comments on this. The mantle to guard all creation falls to those whose evolution is most advanced. And that's it.
So therefore it has to be the Forerunners.
Well...
Yeah.
So much to say, but I can't say a word.
Yeah, I asked Jason not to spoil things for us.
It ruins Cryptum and it ruins Halo 4.
Okay.
So I can't say it. But the Didac is a Forerunner.
All right.
You need to know this because it is not spelled out for you.
Does he
It
look
is
like a
not
Forerunner?
spelled out for you in the game. No, see, that's the thing is, I was talking to Fragger because I got to where you first meet the Didac.
It's like,
and
I don't know who this guy is. Fragger, explain.
He tweeted out, man, that third level ending, glad I read Cryptum. And I was like, I had to read a book to understand what the fuck was going on?
Fuck.
And I asked him, I was like, who's the Didac? And he's like, oh, well, we've never seen a Forerunner, by the way.
Oh yeah, I thought they looked like those guys that appeared in the Halo trailers and the gameplay where you fight.
No, those are the Prometheans.
Oh.
Yeah, those are Prometheans. Those are the servants of the Didac.
Okay.
They're just... It was just him talking to me for like 5 minutes about the story of Cryptum. He didn't ruin anything for Cryptum, but he gave me the base knowledge of things you need to know, which is the Didac is a Forerunner.
He basically gave you the cliff notes that you needed.
Yeah, he gave me the cliff notes of the, man, you really need to read this book because Halo 4 makes a lot more fucking sense.
All right, well, I will make sure I read that before I get Halo 4 in December.
If you go to Books A Million, I don't know if it's at every Books A Million, because I'm doing Christmas shopping for myself because my mom's very mad at me because I don't have a very long Christmas list.
She's mad at you because you don't have a long Christmas list.
Yes, I'll explain that in a second. I found the hardback cover of Cryptum for $5. I was so tempted to go pick it up. I was just like, no,
it's
I gotta
calling
put it on my
to you,
Christmas
Jason.
list. It was because I found it somewhere else in the store. And it was like $15, $20. And I was like, oh man, that's a lot. I was going to buy it for myself. And then I go scanning through because I really liked the Resident Evil books. They novelized the Resident Evil books and games.
Yeah, but let's specify games, not movies.
Yeah, the games. And they have one or two in there that aren't about the games. They're like little crossbridge stories, like what happened to... Chambers, whatever her name is, something Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The medical girl from the first game that you saved from the giant snake.
Oh. Okay.
They have a story about her and her going up against zombies, which was actually a really, really good story. So they stopped after they did Resident Evil 0, which they call 0 Hour. Rebecca Chambers. So I have every one of those books, but I was curious if they expanded it beyond, because I always wanted to see how they novelized like Resident Evil 4 or 5 or 6, because they stopped after 0 Hour, but in chronology, the one they did the latest was Code Veronica X, which was actually really, really good. And I couldn't find any of those, so I found all these Halo books and stuff like that, which is why I found Cryptum for $5.
For $5.
Yeah, for $5. It was like, now, $4.97. And I was like, I just round up to dollar amounts.
Yeah, because of tax.
Yeah, tax and everything. And I was just like, really? I could pick this up for under $6. That is
and
bullshit.
if you actually looked inside the cover, it said, for Jason.
Yeah, for Jay. No, here's the thing. I found Cryptum, like, near the front of the store. Cause, like,
and
with
only
Halo
a place
4
you could
released,
find.
Right, in a bookstore. It was like the front of the store, and it was just like, since Halo 4 released, you might be interested in these Halo novels. And it had like the Cole Protocols and First Strike and Ghost of Onyx and Glasslands and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, well, those sound cool. And then it was like Cryptum, and it was one of those like 20% off, but it was still like $20. And I was like, that is bullshit. So I go back, look for the Resident Evil books.
And there it is for $5.
And there it is for $5 in a hardback cover, and I was just like, you sons of bitches.
Take me, Jason.
If someone went searching in your own damn store.
Well, guys, we need to wrap up here, because my husband just went to bed about 5 minutes ago.
Alright.
Yeah.
So,
It saves me having to explain how I actually got Halo 4.
Yes.
moral of the story...
Go exploring in your bookstores, people. You can probably find it cheaper.
Yes.
No, you'll find
In
the
the
golden
same
book for
damn
yourself.
store.
You'll find your golden ticket.
I know. I get a golden ticket. It explains Halo 4.
It explains at least a quarter way through the campaign.
Yay.
Yes. which I won't get to play until December at the very latest, which should be like
I'm
New
not
Year's.
gonna spoil a thing. Like, the only thing, if you watched Forward Unto Dawn, the only thing you need to know is the UNSC Infinity is there, and the Didac is a Forerunner.
And
that's all
Lasky.
you need to know going in. And Lasky. You meet Lasky. He's really cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's beaten back the cryo-freezing allergy.
No, he still has it.
Well, I know, but I'm making a joke there, which obviously failed.
Failure.
Poor guy. That poor guy could die at any time, and he's still like, well, just gonna command a ship here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I will say this. At the end of Forward Unto Dawn, they make it seem like he's the captain of a ship.
No, he's just the commander.
Yeah, he's a commander. He's in no way in charge.
Yeah, no, because they say the captain has ordered everyone into cryosleep.
Right.
But
right.
I'm allergic.
Yeah, I'm allergic. I'll just stay awake.
How are you allergic to freezing?
Well, it's the medicine that they inject you with.
Yeah,
to
it's
keep
the
your
chemical injection
Yeah.
that they give him to induce cryosleep. He's allergic to one of the components of it.
Yeah, because it's supposed to keep your skin and cells from crystallizing,
Oh.
which could basically kill you.
Yeah.
But
Well,
They
instead-
thaw you out in an entirely different way.
Yeah. But anyways,
Is it like the goof in like beginning of Austin Powers?
No,
No.
Okay.
and that's after they defrosted him.
Okay.
Warm liquid goo phase. All right, let's get out of here.
Liquid goo face.
We
Great
leave
way to
on
end an
liquid
episode.
goo.
The warm liquid goo. Oh, hey, we looped it back to porn bloopers.
Porn bloopers.
Oh, those images will not get on my head.
Bye, people.
Goodbye.
On that thought, bye everybody. I ruined your day.